Today, I want to talk about meditation. I've been meditating for 50 years, so I know a little bit about meditation. And what motivated me to talk about meditation today is an article that title is Meditation and Mindfulness Have a Dark Side We Don't Often Talk About. It's amazing today that there's somebody saying something against or bad against everything. No matter what person says, what subject, you'll find somebody in opposition. With meditation, it goes too far. Meditation, and there are all kinds of forms of meditation. They pick out mindfulness, which they describe as a Buddhist meditation. And I quote, mindfulness is a type of Buddhist-based meditation in which you focus on being aware of what you're sensing, thinking, and feeling in the present moment. This might be a kindergarten type of meditation, because at the other end, the type of meditation I do or achieved after a few decades, but I've been basically enjoying for the last 3 decades, is getting to a place where you're not sensing anything, thinking or feeling anything, that you wipe yourself clean of personality, of mind, and you merge with this pure consciousness, which some people define as God. Another nice definition of God is the highest place inside oneself one can reach. But to start writing about meditation causing anxiety and depression, it's one of the biggest answers to anxiety and depression. It's one of the biggest answers to life. To invest time and energy in improving one's inner nature, in the process of reaching for one's highest self, one's most beautiful self, one's purest self. That's really what meditation's about. And mixing meditation and prayer is what I do. Once achieving a level of pure consciousness, which I can do pretty quickly, sometimes almost instantly, saying one's prayers or what one programs in to one's life from a state of pure consciousness is very powerful. One of my prayers every day is for the significant people in my life who have died, to remember them and to thank them for how they contributed to my life. I then pray for each of my children, for the people who work for me, who contribute to my life, who are very important for me. I pray for my friends. I pray for my family, my extended family who live in the United States. And I say some of the most beautiful prayers that come from the Jewish tradition and Christian tradition. So it's a certain kind of my prayers are like programming, all aimed to the upside, to the beautiful side. Or even transcendental meditation, which is one of the most elementary meditations I started with 50 years ago, where you say a mantra over and over and over again. And the idea was to have the mantra disable the mind and the emotions, to kind of cancel it all out by jamming in a nonsense word, a mantra. There are, as I say, meditation is a big area, many forms, designed for the upside of life, which is quite necessary when there's so much downside, so much conflict, so much confusion, so much stress, which is only increasing in time. Stress for many people is going off the Richter scale. Many people are having incredible financial problems. The government and the world governments are having incredible financial problems. Meditation, though, can be considered as an escape because you purposely leave not only the world's problems behind, but your own problems behind. It's a beautiful thing and a disgrace to frame it, to put people or young people who don't know much about meditation and talk about a dark side. Yes, there's a dark side, or Jungian psychology talks about a shadow. There's a dark side to us. Nobody's perfect. Could consider our imperfections our dark side. But meditation is an attempt to embrace our most beautiful side.
Follow me on Substack, where you can join for free or become a paid member for deeper, uncensored content about consciousness, healing, and spirit.